Tennessee to be here. Pete did run me upstairs real quick to look at a couple of the labs, including the cadaver lab. I will confess right now, I was honestly hoping they were not open for business when we were at the cadaver lab. I kept thinking, if they are, I'll soldier through, but I was really glad that everything was sealed up. I also thought when I was walking through upstairs this incredible building that I guess it would be, I guess my math's about right, about 148 years ago, President Lincoln said we need to do something to help that part of the country where people fought to preserve the Union when so many people around them weren't. We need to do something to set up an educational institution to help. And I'm not certain he envisioned a building like this. I know he didn't, obviously, envision a building like this. But what a great testament to generations and generations of people being faithful to try to take that original mission and keep pushing it forward to meet today's needs. Somebody asked me when I walked up, said, why are you here? This isn't one of the state schools. We have our University of Tennessee system. We have our Tennessee Board of Regents schools. But this is separate from that. So why are you here? Well, it really actually helps. It's a vital part of the mission of what we're trying to do in Tennessee. You see, we have an issue in Tennessee. As much as I love our state, you have to, if you love something, you should know what's great and then what needs improvement. In the whole area of science, technology, engineering, and math, while we have made incredible progress, we still have miles to go. And the issue of higher education, period, we still have miles to go. In Tennessee, about 22% of us over the age of 25 have a degree. Nationally, that number is 30, and it's estimated that it really needs to be about 10%, or 10 years from now, about 50%. Well, you can do the math and figure out we're going to need all the help that we can get if we're going to produce those graduates we need. Pete and I were talking earlier, everything from our graduate medicine programs, whether it be here or at the University of Tennessee, and all the other disciplines related to science and math. We really do need everyone contributing to get to where we need to be. And so, as governor, quite frankly, I'm thrilled that this new building dedicated to an area where we have such a great need and where the population is saying, help us produce more. I've spent the last 6 months out traveling around the state, talking with businesses large and small, saying, what do you need from us that we're not giving you? Like, we want to make certain if our job is to train the workforce for tomorrow, what are we not providing? And the answer came back time and time again from businesses small and large. We need more people trained in the technical areas, and particularly in engineering and math. Volkswagen down the road in Chattanooga is looking, they've invested about $2 billion in Tennessee, is looking at doing more, but they said, we'll only do that if you can produce more of the type of graduates that we need. And so when an institution like LMU steps up and makes a huge investment like this, it is incredibly helpful. It will hopefully avoid a problem I saw. I was, about 3 weeks ago, some of us from the state flew to Japan to recruit business from there. Japan is actually our largest investor nation outside of the U.S. There's more Japanese business in Tennessee than the next 10 countries combined. So we were over there to help to thank some of the people who are already doing business with us and hopefully encourage some others. But we're flying through Dallas. And we stop and we're on the plane. They're getting ready to close the door to head to Tokyo, which is about a 13-hour flight. Before they close the door, the pilot comes on and says, before we go, we want to check out the right engine. And the guy sitting behind me said, well, tell them to check the left one too. And so we're sitting there, and I just happen to be sitting right by the window looking at the right engine. And this guy comes out in short pants and a NASCAR hat, gets up on an elevator, those big engines you can climb up into, and climbs up in there and looks around for a while, gets down, I'm not making this a true story, gets down, goes to his toolbox and pulls out a roll of duct tape. In the South, we really believe you can fix anything with duct tape, but flying 13 hours over the ocean, I was hoping for a little bit more technical approach than a guy with short pants and duct tape. So he looks around for a while, and all of a sudden he kind of climbs down, I go, good, he's going to get help. And sure enough, he comes back with a guy with long pants, and I feel a little better about this at this point in time. But this guy looks at it, and I see him talking, and of course you can't hear him, but you can see him talking. And then the guy with long pants climbs down and goes to his, the little van he's pulled up in and gets a dust mop out. And so the two of them get up there with dust mop and duct tape and work for about 15 minutes. They climb down, and the pilot says, "We're ready to go." I said, "Whoa, whoa, you know, anybody else see how they just fixed this airplane?" Seriously, you know, as we move forward, the requirements from business for our graduates today is so different than it used to be. And that's why this is important. The requirements in medicine for turnout folks and general practitioners and so many other areas that this building will help contribute to is significant for us in Tennessee. So that's the first reason. It really helps provide, it helps fit the vital mission of what we're doing in the state. But the second is I'm really here as a thank you and a tribute to Pete DeBusk. First of all, have any of y'all ever been able to tell Pete no? Anybody in the whole room? I'm seeing a whole lot of heads go back shaking for no. But the truth is, we always say to make any big project happen, you need two types of people. You need one, you need a 20,000-pound gorilla who is going to go in there and make things happen. And second, you need somebody who will sleep on the floor, what we call sleep on the floor. In other words, they'll do whatever has to happen, whatever needs to happen to make that project work. And in this case, Pete really is both. As the chair of the board, he can be the 20,000-pound gorilla that says where we're going to go. But even that wouldn't be enough if he wasn't willing literally to almost sleep on the floor. I think he did everything from measure out the walls here to try to make certain they had the right structures in the roof to support the surgical lights up in the anatomy room. In the end of the day, that's what makes big things happen, is when somebody's willing to commit themselves to the right project to make it happen. And so on behalf of the state, Pete, thank you. We thank you for what this building will mean to our, We thank you for what this building will mean to generations of people from this entire region, and we thank you for what those people who are trained here will mean to the economy at large throughout our state and throughout this region. So thank you. This is a great day in the history of this area. Congratulations.